Running is booming. Marathons sell out in minutes, run clubs are taking over, and parkrun is basically a rite of passage at this point. So naturally, pro runners are dead broke and nobody watches the races. Yeah, makes sense. How can running be the biggest participation sport on earth with the most useless professional product? At last year's Valencia Marathon, with the deepest elite field on earth, guess who the most tracked athletes were? Here's a clue. Neither were even runners. You had a triathlete, Alex Yee, and a good-for-nothing YouTuber, me. In what world are we living where people could not care less about the absolute top runners, the best of the best in our sport, and they're more interested in following someone's journey like mine? I really do think running is the absolute worst marketed sport on earth. So today we're going to chat a bit about why it's so bad and maybe look at how can we flip this around and turn those crazy high participation numbers into actual fans of the sport. And as always, I'd love to hear your opinion, so get at it in the comments and let me know if you agree or disagree as we get into the chat. So in running, it's clear people aren't following the best. They're following storylines, access, context. That's what people care about. And at the moment, the top runners are giving people nothing to engage with. Some rare exceptions are people like Kipchoge, Jakob Ingebrigtsen. They've got whole teams behind them that are helping to promote them and bring them to the masses. They're actually showcasing their story, like on YouTube and all the other media around them. And it's no surprise that those athletes have massive fan bases. Same as Keely Hodgkinson, for example. She's a massive, massive star. And it's because we actually know about her. We get to see her personality. She's not just a robot who comes out once a year to race and then disappears and that's it. Every popular sport on earth does this well. It takes the best athletes and it humanizes them. It lets you engage with more than just them playing on a field, and you actually care about them as people. I think the problem stems to the fact that running markets results instead of the journey. You see, no one cares about the times until they care about the person running it. And at the moment, running skips out on the backgrounds, the rivalries, the storylines, the struggles that these athletes have to go through. That's the interesting part. It's not the fact that this guy split a 15, 25, 5K. No one gives a shit. How is a casual meant to engage with that? It seems so obvious, but it's just missed completely at the moment. And look at any successful sport out there. That's what they do. That's what makes people engage in it. They all have such great marketing and storylines around them that almost the backstory is more interesting than the sport itself. Like for UFC, for example, I'd almost say people care more about the actual build up to the fight, all the documentaries and the vlogs and the behind the scenes stuff, than the actual fight itself. The fight's just the cherry on top of the cake, but it's the whole trash talk and the stakes. It feels like there's actually something on the table. In running, it's like, do we care? Like, what's there to engage with? It's why with this channel, I've really tried to just show everything, like the ups and the downs and the full storyline, my full backstory. Not because I think I'm one of the best runners at all, but I just think that hopefully people engage with that and find it interesting. I definitely don't think that people should be more interested in my story than the top runners. Like, no way. I think it's a joke that this YouTube channel is more viewed than any pro runner out there. They're so much better than me, but I think at the moment, what they're lacking is the human element. I've loved watching pro runners recently get into YouTube and show more of that, and I wish we just had a little bit more access. Because the way I see it is to be a top runner and to smash these ridiculous high mileage, these crazy training days, day in, day out, you've got to be a little bit of a psycho. There's got to be something wrong up here. Every runner I know isn't quite right in the head, but that's what makes them so interesting, and we just need their stories told. And talking of a bit psychotic, let's take a look at my new training regimen. I feel like now that I'm barely running at all, I'm just coming back from this back problem, somehow I've got even less time than before when I was knocking out 40K every day. Like, it's ridiculous. By the time I've done my stretching routine, that takes about 2 hours every day. That's before I can even get out the house. Then I'm going for my classic 100K bike rides, 4 hours on the bike. In fact, hang on, let me show you what I'm doing this on. So this isn't no fancy road bike. This is a granny mobile. We've got the basket on the front, the world's rustiest chain down here. In fact, if I put it on a certain gear, I think it's the 3rd gear, then it just starts creaking constantly. It's like, is not exactly the best for smashing out these massive bike rides. If it had been any longer that I was out of the game, then I would invest in a proper road bike. But I feel like for now, by buying a bike, it would basically be conceding the fact that I can't run, accepting defeat. Whereas in my head, it's like, I'm on the comeback trail now. I'm gonna be putting this bike to rest very soon. Hopefully, I'm not touching this bad boy again in a couple weeks' time. I can fully end that saga and move straight into the full-blown running. I think I spoke too soon. You know what? Scrap what I said completely. It is the end of this bad boy. I'm gonna have to retire it right now. Send it to an early grave, because that right there is the final straw. It's a third puncture I've had this week. Luckily, I'm not too far away from home. I think it's about an hour's walk back, but it's just a joke at this point. The tires are completely busted up. The chain's basically gone as well. I think it cost me about 50 quid this bike, and it's lasted me many thousands of kilometers. So all in all, I'd say it was a success. But now I've had no choice but to give in and cop myself a proper road bike. Hopefully though, it won't be seeing much use in the future. I can assure you, span to Japan is not in my plans. So let's get back to the running chat. Now, admittedly, I might be slightly biased living out here in Japan, but I think they are the perfect example of how running can be an entertaining sport. People are always surprised to find out the most viewed running event on earth is actually a university ekiden race in Japan. And these teams that you can get behind, you can follow, and people root for their local team, their local university. Oh, but this guy, he's a big fan. And you have 50 million Japanese people, half the population, tuning in every year to this race. I think what this Hakon Ekiden does so well is that they actually show the build up to the race. So they'll show the pre-season training, like all the different teams, you can see their summer training camps. It's like, oh, how are they moving? How are they getting on? You get to know all the different personalities. They do interviews and stuff in the build up. You've got these camera crews sent out to the mountains, to all these different locations where they're training, and actually follow them along. And then you can see throughout the season, it's like, oh, this prelim race, how are they trending? Are they going to be fighting for contention this year? Or maybe they're trying to get the automatic place, because there's not just the race for first. The Ekiden's so exciting because you've got whole different dynamics throughout the race. It's the battle for auto qualifying. It's almost like relegation in football, that kind of thing. And by the repeated exposure, you keep seeing these different teams, you keep seeing these names in the news, like in these different YouTube videos, on the radio, in newspapers. And that's what builds the engagement, the excitement. You end up caring about the people. What's crazy is that even local Ekiden races, like the Yamagata Ekiden, the coverage of that is better than any world major marathon. I'm not even joking. Firstly, trying to even find a stream or channel where the top global races are being shown is an absolute nightmare. Then if you somehow manage that, you tune in to watch the best runners battle it out at the front. And instead, half the time you're stuck watching footage of random guys jogging along in fancy dress, and you miss all the actual moves being made. The Ekidens here have multiple camera crews following the different groups, and it's uninterrupted, non-stop action the entire time. Casual viewers might think long distance races are boring, but look at how well the Tour de France does. That's 5 hours of riding every day for 3 weeks, and it reaches over 1 billion viewers every year. I like to think of the Hakone Ekiden as the Tour de France of running, and both of them hit all the check marks for an exciting sport. You've got team dynamics, rivalries, multiple stages with different specialists, clear rankings, races within races, and of course, huge brand sponsors and investment, all of which are lacking in professional running. Even casual viewers in those other sports know all the names of the top athletes and understand their stories. And then let's think running. I challenge you right now, name the top 5 ranked marathoners in the world. I guess maybe you've got Sawe and Kajelcha because of that recent London Marathon. Other than that, it gets tricky. Can you name the last world champion or the top 3 in the last world champs for the marathon? I'd say even the absolute nerdiest runners might struggle. The sad thing in running is that the one time we actually get to know some of these top marathoners is when they pop up on the news as, oh, this guy's got busted for doping. That's probably the most exposure these guys get. It's like you'll hear a name like, oh, this guy got busted for doping. I'm like, who the bloody hell is that? You then look at their accolades and it's like New York Marathon winner, major world medal, half marathon world record holder. It's absolutely crazy. And it's like, we've never even heard of these guys. When they're actually winning races, it just feels like another random no-name who we know absolutely nothing about and we won't see again for 6 months until maybe their next race where they might feature for 1 hour on TV. But I'm afraid you can't get rid of me that easy. So while right now I'd love to be racing every week, I'm in a rare down period.
So it feels like I'm just making painfully slow progress each run. So slow. I'm not even breaking 5-minute Ks now. And the volume's still super low, but the SI joint is just so susceptible to load. It's like if you go a tiny bit too much, I can feel it flaring up. So I'm like trying to build up super slowly. Usually I'd just be straight back, like a week off for a little niggle, little calf strain, straight back to 200K, no problem. But this time, it feels like it's gonna take forever to actually get back to proper volume.
Well, I can't exactly say running at the moment is pleasant. While I'm doing it, I'm not exactly enjoying it, but I guess afterwards it is good to get it done. Oh, we've actually got the World Cup about to kick off, so I'm gonna sit down and relax. But while I'm doing it, I need to absolutely hammer the recovery, because at the moment, I've been trying to hit the rehab from every different angle. Like every day I've been doing the S&C, stretching, foam rolling, massage. Oh. Shout out England as well. Come on the boys, it's coming home. I'm actually so hyped for this World Cup. Luckily there's about 6 hours of games each day, so I've got plenty of time for all the recovery activities. You can see I've got my mat laid out there. But actually post-run, one of the new things I've been trying is red light therapy. I feel like there's a lot of hype around that at the moment because the science has proven that the red light therapy can help reduce inflammation and bring more oxygen, I think, to the affected area. So after all my runs recently, I've been equipping this bad boy, the PRUNGO Flux Go. So my thinking is with these red lights, I can then target that area on the back and help hopefully speed up the recovery. And here we go, it's kicking off. The World Cup has begun. And it's great, I can count this as recovery. I've got my Flux Go on here and I can just sit back and relax enjoying the game. So it's very high tech this. It uses a medical grade laser to get deep into the tissue. And that modular design is quality, so you can target any body part precisely. And I've heard from other elite athletes that they've had great response from the red light therapy, especially for joint problems like this with my SI. So I'm hoping this can help me get back to smashing the running soon. I'm done with being a crippled old man. So big up PRUNGO for sponsoring this video, and I'll whack a little link down below if you want to check it out yourself. Now, another essential part of recovery is, of course, getting enough food in. So before I propose some more ideas to bring elite running to the masses, let's see what goodies this remote Japanese town has to offer. So I've just been doing a little bit of exploring around Nanyo today, and I have never seen it this busy. It's unheard of. It's absolutely popping out here. This is Kumano Taisha. It's the #1 tourist spot of Nanyo. We've even got coaches and stuff coming out, like day trips. People are traveling maybe from the cities or whatever. I guess because it's summer, it's like everyone's coming here. The flowers are out. We've got the ice cream shop over here, little donut place as well. And then there's a flower garden up there. But I've never seen this many people in Nanyo. I was saying last week how it was just completely dead. Guess what? This is where everyone's at. It's the place to be. And while everyone else seems to have come here to see the majestic Japanese shrine in all its glory, something even more glorious has caught my eye. Okay, we're at a classic tourist spot in Nanyo. This is the famous Gelato N. I've got a very Japanese flavour here. So I tried to pick the weirdest ones as usual. So here we've got asparagus and rice with milk. Okay, let's go a little bit of asparagus first. It's really asparagus. I want to try it. Like perfect asparagus flavour. But I just don't think asparagus should go in ice cream. And then the rice one has actually little bits of rice in it. Oh, it's quite refreshing. If I was rating the authenticity of the flavours, they've absolutely nailed it. It's 10 out of 10. But should asparagus go in an ice cream? I'm not sure. I feel like I need a bit more. It's not bad. It's a hot day and it's a refreshing little treat. It's going to get Scran to Japan score of 7.7. Okay, so the ice cream got a seal of approval. I think it grew on me the more and more I tried it. Now we got to give the donuts a go. Right, we've got the burnt caramel up first. It's kind of like a creme brulee, fresh, hot. Oh, it's really different to what I expected. It's more like bread than a donut. Like the middle doesn't taste fried. Yeah, it's more like almost brown bread with the sweet topping. I feel like it's a bit too healthy. Yeah, donuts should be pure sugar, pure fat. Okay, cinnamon one. It looks like the actual donut's the same and it's just been coated in that cinnamon sugar. Yeah, cinnamon's always a banger. It's just too healthy. I'm gonna have to give this one, sounds harsh, I'm gonna have to go 6.8. Not because it's bad quality, just because if I'm expecting a donut, I'm expecting sweet goodness, exactly. Not bad, but you can do better, Nanyo, come on. So some harsh critique this week, but ever since my Okinawa trip, the Scran to Japan scale has shifted and I expect nothing but the best from my sweet treats. But now back to the crux of this episode and addressing the failing sport of pro running. Now by no means do I think I'm some expert in this topic, but I did manage to claim the title of least talented pro runner of all time and somehow build a career out of this hobby of mine. So I think I've got a somewhat unique perspective on it. After all, I started this YouTube channel as I saw how unbelievably hard it was to make a living as a full-time runner. And unless you're at the absolute pinnacle of the world stage, elites are barely getting paid at all. At the end of the day, sponsors aren't paying for times. They're paying for eyeballs on them, and prize money, like with all sports, just reflects viewership numbers. So even though the booming running economy is valued at $50 billion annually, only a minuscule fraction of that actually reaches the top athletes. So to go into detail on the solutions, I think we'd need a full video in itself, but these are a few of the changes I think could make a difference. I'd say number one, the big thing, we need teams. All the most popular sports in the world have teams in them, and that's what people can get behind. You want to root for and support your local team or somewhere you have a connection to. Like how they do in Japan with the Hakone Ekiden teams and the Jitsugoden teams. Let's do that in running. We need a global league. All the best athletes racing consistency against each other. Because at the moment you've got all these different races all over the place and the top guys never actually compete against each other. It's hard to know who the best actually is. Bring all of them together in a regular season with races that they have to compete in, marathons throughout the year, and build up the storylines between athletes. Let's have some rivalries. Everyone's too friendly at the moment. Let's create a little bit of atmosphere. The top guys should be competing against each other instead of being best mates. We need a much clearer ranking system as well. So you know, okay, this guy is the 7th best runner in the world, or this guy is the 9th best. Let's have something on the line that they're competing for. Because that's really what it comes down to, the stakes and the storytelling. Each race needs to mean something and we need to be invested in the participants. But I want to know what you think. What ideas have you got to fix running? And do you think there's actually a problem in the first place? I'm curious to know, do you guys actually enjoy watching pro running or just enjoy running yourself? But this has been Jake with Run to Japan. I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, train harder, not smarter. Let's go.